men are natural chasers. If you just open your legs on the first night or open your legs just because I said a little game to you, if I was a man, I wouldn't even be attracted to you anymore. You definitely won't be my wife.
To my friends that I don't get approached here at all. Homegirls look nice. Like, can I get your number? They don't do that here.
Podcast bros are literally the reason that men are lonely. They're getting like the worst advice. So strong and brave. He uses his voice. He must know what he's talking about.
Be breaking generational curses by going back to school or going to school, getting degrees, and they utilize financial aid.
Because women are allowed to choose who to date. Normal guys are being left alone.
Klaus, it's so nice to meet you, finally. Hello, it's nice to meet you as well. I've already ordered my food and drinks that I will be consuming for this day. Oh, okay, that's... So what do you do? What do you do? Oh, well, I actually work at it. No, like your job, does it make money? Do you make money? Yeah, no, my job makes... How much money? I need to know that you will never ask me for money. I am not here to take care of you. Oh, well, I mean, it's just a regular pay. Do you have your own house? Do you already ordered... No, my job makes... How much money? I need to know that you will never ask me for money.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? This is hilarious. She's a little bit of a comedian, but you're on a world stage. The whole world is watching American woman begging men for money. Begging. And guys overseas are not going for it. But let me finish. Let her finish.
I am not here to take care of you. Oh, well, I mean, it's just a regular pay. Do you have your own house? Do you have your own house? Do you? Yeah, I have a small apartment, like, with a flatmate, and it's pretty... Do you like sports? Do you like football? Not soccer, but do you like football? Yeah, I think it's a cool sport. People play it, and it's good, because when I want to watch it, you'll never watch it with me, but when I watch it and I want to explain something to you, you have to understand. Okay, well... this was a great time. I'm really happy that we got to meet. Yes, really, this was a great date. I'm very interested. We should start dating probably today. I'm very interested in you. You really shown me that love really exists here in Deutschland.
It's like that overseas. It's like that in every country. Guys, well, maybe in some parts of Africa, guys are tricking like that, but men are not paying for women. They're not paying women's lives. Let me tell you like this. I gotta say it like this. Men do pay women's lives. I pay for everything my wife does, but why can I do that? Where is it much cheaper now? Every guy that's leaving, going across these shores, that gets a wife in another country, he's doing the same thing as well. Any passport bro leaving out is doing the same thing as well. See, it's just the dollar here and the dollar there is night and day. With how much things cost in the US, that's stingy. To ask a man to pay for everything is stingy. That's why we're at the bottom of the totem pole. We got to make some changes. Take a look at the next video and you'll see why.
Or we can go half on the bills. I don't understand that concept of going half. That makes no sense to me. There used to be a time a man took pride in taking care of his wife, and her money is her money. And now we're talking about splitting things down the middle. But the reason why we're splitting things down the middle because you know, some of us, we want to live in the big old house and, you know, have the beautiful furniture and a nice car, you know, 2-car garage.
You know, it's wild. You know what I can imagine? That German guy watching this video. Oh, I will not go for that here in Dutchland.
3-car garage at this point, okay? And having a car sitting in each one of them with a boat. Okay. And so it's difficult for the man to actually pull all the weight because your luxuries are so great. You know, the household bills are so great. But yeah, I really feel like it's been a blessing and a curse for us. And I would really like to see men get back in their place of being providers and having pride in that.
You wish men overseas, she's never going. But a lot of women, I'm sure that a lady that was making the jokes in the first video, she probably thought, "Oh, I'm going overseas," but she didn't care. See, a lot of, not a lot, but I can tell her, she wants to find real love, and she's probably going to be successful. When you go across these waters looking to be provided for, not going to happen. Men do chivalry somewhat still. A few men in America, that's where you have your chance. You want to provide a man, your last shot is in America, or maybe in Africa, but probably still not there too.
Chivalry is dead, and women killed it.
It is proven that women that do not entertain men, barely entertain men, make the best girlfriends or wives. Just think about it. A woman that's not entertained about men in general, they typically have high standards, right? Which means they're very big on loyalty, standards, and emotional depth. She wants something real. You get what I'm saying? Over temporary attention. Got a lot of out here that just like getting down. They like a little man attention. They giggle and shit when men text them late at night at 3 a.m. in the morning to be. But real women don't like that. It's not acceptable to them. She is not desperate for male validation. That what makes her the best type of partner. And let me explain why. She's not easily impressed. So the bare minimum for this woman, it just won't go. It won't fly. Cheap compliments, fake promises, or love bombing does not work on this woman. A man has to earn her trust and affection. Meaning when she chooses someone, it's real. Just think about it. Back in the days, when you were searching for a woman, some men had to fight to death for one. Now all you got to do is text and just tell her what you want to hear, and she spread her legs open. I know to the real men, that is so unattractive to y'all. Because if you're this easy with me, I could just imagine how you are with other men. Men are natural chasers. If you just open your legs on the first night or open your legs just because I said a little game to you, if I was a man, I wouldn't even be attracted to you anymore. You definitely won't be the wife. So instead of a girl being flattered at a what you doing text at 2 a.m., a real woman gonna be like, "Sir, good night." Number 2, she has strong boundaries. She doesn't entertain clowns. She avoids toxic men, players, and time wasters. Simple. If a man disrespects her, plays games, or show inconsistency, she will cut them off immediately. It's no guessing games, no wondering why. She don't have time for that. She expects to be courted properly, not treated like an option. Say, for instance, if a man ghosts this woman and comes back weeks later, this is the type of woman that's not going for that. She's blocking him and moving on. She is emotionally mature and stable. Most of women that are not very desperate for a man are very emotionally secure and stable. She doesn't need male attention to feel valuable. Her confidence is internal, not external. She's comfortable with being alone, meaning she won't tolerate toxic relationships just to avoid loneliness. She doesn't create unnecessary drama or fall for manipulation tactics like love bombing or future making. She's not the type of woman to cry over a man that goes to her. She just want to simply replace him. She's extremely loyal. Since she don't give attention to any man, when she chooses a partner, she's loyal. Ding, 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 ding. She's not.
I say it like this. Men find women like that still. Most of them are across these shores. But when you find one, even in the U.S., keep her around, right? Because you never know when you're going to get one again. Keep her around. And the wild thing is, you can't really make that your wife because you don't know what how a person is going to be 10 years down the line. You don't know if a person is going to change. You don't know if a person is going to take you for everything you have. That's why, guys, a lot of guys are doing what? Going across these shores and finding women outside.
Flirting in Germany compared to America is so interesting because when I try to explain to my friends that I don't get approached here at all, they don't understand. Because in America, it's like, "Hey, you looking really good over there. Like, I really like your outfit. You and your homegirls look nice. Like, can I get your number?" They don't do that here.
Welcome to the new world.
Okay? This is how the flirting situation happens in Germany, okay? "I'm going to lock in and stare at this girl for at least 10 seconds. Oh, this man is staring at me. Now I must lock eyes with him for at least 10 seconds. And they continue to do that for an extended period of time until one person's like, and then they start talking to each other across the room. It's like, how like butterflies have to be like, that's like how the flirting situation happens. You have to lock eyes and then some type of spirit away thing happens. I don't make the rules. But yeah, I don't get approached at all. Maybe I'm just too pretty. Yeah, we gonna stick with that.
See, look, they're not getting approached in the U.S. They're not getting approached overseas in Germany, many other places. Why is that? Because they're approaching their woman. She said that's how it happens. So obviously something's working for somebody, right? But it's not working for her. Interesting.
So when he did that, I immediately jumped into fear. So I immediately said, let me be nice and let me calm the situation down. And it wasn't easy doing that. Like, he never calmed down, but he calmed down enough to where I was able to finesse my way to the house where he was at with my baby. I called the police in Georgia, in the city, the
Man.
little town that they were in, and I had to get the police to knock on the door and tell him to give me my baby. But I'm gonna tell you, like, as a woman, be very, very careful. Okay,
Yeah.
when
Here
it
we
comes to
go.
these men and your children,
Here we
especially in
go.
Georgia, I can't speak for any other.
See, I can't let you do that. That's a case by case basis, meaning that's your man. You chose.
The comeback is, well, he did it to me. You're not gonna get no award for that, and your child
Yeah.
gonna be a statistic. So, bitch, what are we talking about? The bad boys will allow. You're able to say, "Girl, I was fucking Tyrone. He in the streets, bitch. Yeah, he took me out. It was exciting." There's the excitement side, but then there's always, if this doesn't work out with Tyrone, I have a story where Tyrone was the one that did me wrong.
You chose a knucklehead who only cared about the coon, who probably was raised by his mama, is emotional, and lashes out and wants you still. So he doesn't care about that baby. He never wanted to have that baby. You got pregnant, so he had to have the baby, and also he wanted to be around you. That's your man.
Real talk.
Your ex, who you knew was in that case, you knew you shouldn't have been with. Don't say that's how other men are gonna be. I'm gonna hear her out. Why she's gonna? Oh, you gotta be careful who you around. These men.
State. But in Georgia, even me having him on recording saying, I'll throw Mia off this balcony. That's what he said on the recording. I recorded him. He said it like 4 times. The police said that that was not a direct threat. Better be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Now, before I get into it, let me preface this by saying that I am someone who is happily married to the love of my life.
Shut up. Oh, no. Not another one. You got these women, like, look, you got Beyonce saying, oh, my single ladies. Oh, my single ladies. She's married. You got Cardi B saying, I don't cook, I don't clean. And she's cooking and cleaning.
Fake it till you make it.
Now you got her. Marriage is a scam. That woman needs to the center ASAP. And she's married and doing everything for a man. Unless her man is a simp. He may be accepting. I don't know. He may be moving forward to an unhappy marriage. I don't know. But marriage is about give and take. But let me see what she says.
What the patriarchy has successfully done is to promote marriage and relationships, the thing that benefits men the most, as the thing that women should desire above all else. Let's talk about it. Now, it is important to distinguish that men run away from the institution of marriage because there are consequences associated with not abiding by the rules of marriage. So what a lot of men do is they run away from the institution of marriage, but they live a married life with a woman. They just don't give her the title of a wife.
They don't trust.
Hence the increase in baby mother culture. So
They don't
there are a lot
trust.
of women who are wives without the title. So while I'm talking about marriage, understand that that's interchangeable with long-term relationships, because the only difference between marriage and a long-term relationship is the official title. So even by the rules of the patriarchy, men's core and really only responsibility in the marriage is to be the financial provider. Men are not expected to stay at home and raise children. Men are not expected to cater to their wives in the way that wives are expected to cater to their husbands. Men are often afforded an automatic level of forgiveness for infidelity. Now, if you look at it from the perspective of a woman, oh baby, we done bad. Women are expected to carry the bulk of the domestic labor within the house. Women are expected to raise the children. Women are expected to forgive their men when their men be men, as they call it. Women are there to be the emotional, mental support of men, encourage their man, pour into their man, submit, right? And then on top of all that, most women are financially contributing in their homes. So since the dawn of day, men have really understood this. So what they previously did was put themselves in position of power that meant they would always have dominance over women. What's the easiest way to do this? To control the finances. So men put in all kinds of laws that meant that women cannot work, so they were dependent on a man. Because then their argument could be and could always be, well, I pay the bills. Well, you want me to provide. Well, I have to provide. But one thing about them tables, baby, they always will turn. So what happened ultimately is that society financially could not keep up with men being the only breadwinners. So what they did is they allowed women to work. But in allowing women to work, they didn't take any of the other burdens off women's plates. So I will say it, I will die on work. They didn't take any of the other burdens off women's plates. So I will say it, I will die on this hill, I will consistently say it. Women are who men think they are. And quite frankly, I am getting tired of men who have never provided independently a day in their life using the argument of being a provider to back up their false sense of superiority. No, baby, face me, I face you. There is nothing a man can do that a woman cannot do. And then to counteract the argument, men will do this thing like, oh, if you need a handyman, are you calling a man or a woman? Baby, I'm calling the paid laborer, whether that's a man or a woman. And even just to expand that point, equal does not mean the same. So first and foremost, there is nothing a man can do that you cannot teach women to do. Whether a man can do it better or not is irrelevant, because there are plenty of things that women can do that they do better than men that men can still do. However, there are some cool things that men...
And this argument needs to stop. I'm surprised your husband married a feminist. I couldn't do it, because you'd be talking and I'd be sitting there listening going,
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Are you serious? Like, are you serious? We're still having this argument? This needs to stop. She's not even serious. She's only doing it for TikTok. I gotta call it out. She's doing it for TikTok. She has her talking points on a board. She's looking at her talking points right now. She's looking at her talking points. Not really fully decided on if she means it or not, because she's doing it for money, right? And look at her. She looked to the side just now. Like, no, stop it. Please. It's not helping women, right? I understand. You all need to make your bag. But women are being led astray. Women listen to the evil one when he said to bite the apple, and they listen to every other evil man out there who's led them astray. They're still led astray right now. You got married. Why? Because you knew that was the smart thing to do, to be with a man and to raise her children, to have a children and raise a family. I'm sure you're traditional somewhat. More women need to be traditional, at least somewhat. So to lead them astray is criminal. A lot of you making content on TikTok who are married need to be locked up. Seriously, you should be arrested. I know that's not going to happen, but no, for real. Because you're leading people astray.
Conversation about men being DL that's so disingenuous is the fact that there are women out here trying to say, well, I'm just trying to protect my health because all these STDs and like, girl, these are the same diseases and infections that get passed around when these men be cheating on you with other women, and you still didn't do nothing about it, and you still slept with them. So what is you even saying? What is you even saying, girl? These is the same. It ain't no new diseases. It ain't nothing. It ain't no new ones. It ain't no new ones. And when that man was cheating on you with that girl, you still was cool with it. So what is it really about? Huh? What is it really about? What is it really about? Because you know what it's giving? It's giving, I want to be able to shame. I want to be able to insult men by calling them gay. I want to be able to shame them for insinuating that they're gay, girl. Gay is not an insult if you really support gay people. I don't understand. Y'all be missing the mark every time.
Yeah. Despicable. That's all I have to say. Disgusting as well.
Femininity, on having one partner, on getting married, on having kids, on building.
This is truly fascinating for me to see because femininity
here we go again.
has nothing to do with men.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she listed is for a man. I've noticed this with a lot of like feminine content. Like you can be feminine and you don't have to do it for a man. Don't need to do it with hopes of finding a man, a traditional man, to make a family and with the white picket fence. Femininity has nothing to do with men. The fact that women can't just be feminine for themselves and you make it about men shows how lost in the sauce she is. Oh, I do agree that women don't need to be sleeping with men because men are energy vampires. The whole bigger point of a lot of these movements was so that women have their own bodily autonomy. Choice to do what they wanted with their bodies. Because from the creation of patriarchy, women were not allowed to use their bodies how they wanted to. Isn't that an insane concept for you to think about? You weren't allowed to think how you wanted to. You weren't allowed to dress how you wanted to. You weren't allowed to walk how you wanted to. You're just going right back.
Man, another one. I can't play another one of these videos. Seriously. It's exhausting me. More feminist content. We come from one lady 2 videos ago into her. At first she's cooking. She's right. You don't have to be feminine for a man. You should just be feminine because you're feminine. But what she said is like you get exhausted. Seriously, the video has what? 5 more minutes. I couldn't even play the video through because she started pushing propaganda. That's half of TikTok nowadays. So much feminist propaganda being pushed, and other women saying, "Yeah, we can do anything a man can do." Yes, that was pushed to create more debt slaves. It worked, and you're still pushing it, guys. I mean, ladies, you should pay attention to the ladies pushing these things. Is it really a hidden agenda to keep you all enslaved? It truly is. You just don't see it.
All the men are losing the plot.
Explosion of feminism and birth control, etc. But what ended up happening was when you leave women to their own devices, they date the best guys that they can get. And that problem's been exacerbated as they become more educated and made more money. So it's left a lot of normal guys out of the realm.
Women being more educated is causing the male loneliness because women are able to choose better. This is so funny to me that something like this.
Because women are able to choose better. How many better guys are there out there? Right? When women 80% is dating 20, you're all sharing the same guy. You got those players that are over 6 feet that made 100,000. Just come here, give me that thing. Give me that.
He belongs to the streets.
Dang. And you wondering why guys, it's so mean. Guys are so cruel because he's just smashing you all. Yeah, I did good. I can get Chad and Tyrone now. I got the bag. Oh, I qualify for Chad and Tyrone. No, you don't. You don't qualify for them. That dream is a lie. You deserve a regular guy. That's why Kevin Samuels was so popular. He was trying to show you. And then you all make the bag and don't realize you're regular, you're average. You're what you look like. That's what you deserve. Because the women who are getting these guys don't get the bag a lot of the times. They may have a high school diploma, but they're bad, gorgeous, they're dimes. You see it all the time. The man you just played, I don't believe in what he believes in. I don't believe in that red pill crap. I think it sets men back, actually. I believe in marriage, but what you're talking about is you have options when you don't. It's been showed and proven, and you all, when somebody shows you something evil, there, you crucify him. It will be like that all through history. The people who are trying to bring you peace so you can be happy, acceptance. When you accept, that's when you're happy. They will never be there. Listen to her, hear her out.
This will come out of his mouth. How could you be a male and watch this and think any of this makes sense? Like, do they genuinely listen to this? They genuinely think that women owe them something.
I wonder you stayed single.
Podcast bros are literally the reason that men are lonely. They're getting like the worst advice from other losers, and they're just like, yeah, like he's so strong and brave, he uses his voice, he must know what he's talking about, without actually listening to the message and who it's coming from.
And women like you is the reason why they're getting it. Because y'all do sound language. Shaming, insulting, guilt, and need to be right.
Because women are allowed to choose who to date, normal guys are being left alone. Almost as if the women are being controlled and forced to date men, be with men, have houses and kids with men, because there was no other option. The little games that they play now are almost like a retaliation to women being able to be free.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
And to me, that is so funny, coming from the logical and strong group.
They're confused. They don't see what's happening. They can't identify it. We had to toes in.
My mama always used to say, you cannot get blood out of a turnip. I'm not worried about this whole student loan debt. I'm not. We all know it's a targeted attack on the poor. We know it's a targeted attack on people who are just low income, living paycheck to paycheck, who just wanted to make, a possibility of breaking generational curses by going back to school or going to school, getting degrees. And they utilize financial aid.
So you got financial aid to get that degree. You came out, you don't got a job to pay for that degree, and you saying I can't you can't get blood out of a turnip. Man. We told you so. I'll let her talk. I'll remove myself.
To do that. And unfortunately, there aren't any jobs and the majority of the fields that people have degrees in. So they had to resort to just making ends meet by going to jobs and, getting positions in places that they didn't get educated for.
Whose fault is that?
That they didn't go to school to get a degree for. And now they're defaulted on student loans. I'm not going to lie. I'm defaulted. But you can't get blood out of a turnip. I don't have it. I don't take my refund. I didn't get one this year. I don't care. Like, it's not going to hurt me, because people like myself, we pretty much operate in survival mode. I'm only going to pay the bills, and I'm only going to attend to things that need to be tended to. All right. When it comes to money, and whatever's left is mine. If you feel like you're going to garnish my pay to pay student loans, baby, I will make money without being on the books. There are ways to get paid under the table. Believe that. You don't have to get paid on the table. You don't have to get a W-2 job. You can do 1099 work. You have to report everything you earn to the government. And that's just being real. Y'all want to play games? We can play this game. But people who know how to operate in survival mode, people who know how to make 1 and 2 equal 3, 4 plus 4 equal 8, to make things work from A to Z, we ain't worried about that. We really ain't. We really ain't. Nobody was really dependent on the government to have the backs of people who don't have money, who don't have enough to make ends meet. These jobs don't pay enough to pay your bills. They don't pay enough to make ends meet. Get another job. 2 jobs don't pay enough to make ends meet. A household with 2 incomes is not enough anymore. So this is just a layer on top of a bunch of shit that we really don't talk about. But you can't get blood out of a turnip, so do what y'all got to do. Ain't nobody sweating the student loan. I promise you that. Ain't nobody sweating.
This is the way.
Passport bros. Cash for no.
Answers come